So as we step into this idea of how to pick a Southwest Florida waterfront home, the first thing that I think is really important to assess and think through are the different kinds of options. Now, blog posts that you posted recently,
right?
There was a few. One was Gulf front homes, another one's Riverfront homes, canal access homes, direct access, Gulf access, and freshwater canals and lakes.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, some people think they're getting a waterfront home that connects. Cape Coral is a great illustration of that, but it doesn't connect.
No.
But they weren't told that. And
That's
the
right.
real estate agent or whoever didn't know or didn't share the information or forgot about it or whatever it is. So Gulf front homes, Riverfront, canal access, sailboat, Gulf, any other areas, or how you want to break this down and talk that through?
It's what the buyer's application is. Are they coming down here? And it also depends on the means. Do they have the money to buy Gulf front? Do they have money to buy maybe a bayfront, which is protected? Or maybe they have the means to buy a canal front home. So many times I'll have people say, hey, we're coming down to buy a place. We looked in Cape Coral, online. But the homes they're sending us are like these smaller front elevations. They're the same price for these other homes they're seeing that are beautiful, these big high front elevations, gorgeous, new homes. I'm like, yeah. I go, how far away from the river do you want to be? They go, what do you mean? I go, well, the nice, super nice homes, the beautiful front elevations that are a year, 2 years old are an hour and 20-minute ride in a canal that leads the saltwater to the river. Or do you want to be a 5-minute boat ride? The houses are going to be not as magnificent as, say, the homes that are the hour boat ride. Reason being is the dirt. The closer you are to the river, which leads to the Gulf, it's way more money. If you buy a lot that's maybe an hour away, the dirt is a lot less, but you can build a magnificent home. So they're seeing this. So I had good friends of mine, Jim and Michelle. I know you're going to see this, and yes, I'm going to say this. Jim called one day, and I'm sending him properties, and Michelle's like, Jimmy, I don't like the home Shane's sending us. I want the big, pretty front elevation, the high, beautiful homes. I go, Jim, look, man, here's the deal. How many beers do you want to drink before you get to the river? He goes, what? I go, how many beers do you want to drink? You'll vouch for me, won't you? How many beers do you want to drink before you get to the river? He goes, I don't know, 1 or 2. I go, good. The homes Michelle's pulling up are an hour up the canal system, and you have bridges. He goes, what do you mean bridges? I go, you have bridges that are 8.5-foot clearance, mean low tide. He goes, what does that mean? I go, well, not low tide, not high tide. It's a mean tide.
Yeah.
The boat you're talking about getting won't fit under the bridges. Yep. I never thought about that. Long story short, they came down, met him. We're best of friends today. They do all kinds of fun stuff with us.
Yeah.
He bought a house on a basin, literally 2 minutes out to the river. He thanks me to this day, and he tells the story to this day about this realtor he called, and he's like, how many beers do you want to drink before you get to the river? I met so many people say, oh, Jimmy, Michelle. I'm like, yeah. Because he told us a story about the beers. I'm like, oh, Jeff, come on, man. Fast forward, they sold the home about 3.5, 4 years later. He remodeled the whole thing. He sold the home for almost twice what he paid for it. So they're super ecstatic because we got him a great value when they bought it. They sold it. Then they bought another home. Same thing. He's maybe 3 minutes out to the river. So there's so many variables if you're buying in Cape, buying in Fort Myers. What size boat do you want to get?
Yep.
Do you want to get a 50-footer, a sport fish, a cabin cruiser? You're not coming into my neighborhood. You can't get in here. It's too shallow. You'd want to go to Town and River or Palmetto Point. You just do.
Yeah.
Are you a back bay fisherman? Do you have a bay boat? I can name 15 different neighborhoods that you can get your boat into where the bigger boats won't go.
Yeah.
Or you could be somebody like me, which people don't understand. I have 2 boats. I have the big boat for offshore and taking family out, large groups of people, or the small boat where I can run skinny. Skinny means super shallow water to go snook fishing, trout fishing, redfish. Or if I want to run offshore 60, 80 miles, you got to take the big boat that's sitting right there.
Yep.
So those people need more water frontage. They'll see a beautiful home and say, oh my gosh, it's on a price point. Yeah, but you have 40-foot of frontage and you want 2 boats. It's not going to work. They don't think about that.
Yeah.
I need to know, what is your application? Are you hardcore fisherman? You can be an offshore fisherman. Do you like to run to the Keys a lot in your boat? I need to know the information so I can give them an accurate solution.
Right.
So there's so many variables there.
So the way you summed it up is know your dockage.
Yes.
And make sure that you understand your lifestyle. And sometimes you don't know what that feels like because you haven't lived here. There's a beauty in the story you told in one of our previous podcasts where you're like, you don't know the lifestyle. Let's get in my boat and I'll show you the lifestyle.
Yes.
Because when I moved down here, for me, it was very clear I wasn't going to be going in the Gulf. That wasn't part of my thing. I'd go on the Gulf on the outside of Sanibel and Captiva, but I wasn't going out 10 miles or 20 miles. So for me, it was okay. Single motor, intercoastal, Cabbage Key, Boca Grande, all the way down. I could comb down the beaches, Fort Myers Beach, go in the intercoastal down there, that kind of stuff. That's what I knew I wanted to do, so I had a frame. But a lot of people don't know until they get here.
They don't know.
And they think about it like I did through the lens of Michigan, which was freshwater with no tide.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to worry about the draft of your boat, which is the part below the water line.
That's right.
Because if it fit, it fit. And you would look and make sure that your boat would be okay on a particular lake or whatever. Here, your boat might fit at 2 o'clock, but at 6 o'clock, you're grounding it out. So you got to pay particular attention, as you said, to going skinny or understanding, I'm going to have to think about the tides today when we go on the backside of Fort Myers Beach or whatever that is and pay attention to the markers and all that kind of stuff. So know your dock. There's a big part of check the seawall. So when you get into a Southwest Florida property and you see maybe it's a 50-foot, 100-foot total space of frontage there on the water, what do you have to say about the seawall quality, content, and age? And
that's really important. So the old corrugated seawalls, you may have seen them where you have the seawall cap. They're corrugated. They kind of go like this. Those are the old asbestos seawalls. They're failing. They have failed. If you have that, you're going to have to replace that seawall. It's not, if I got to replace it, it's when. That's a big deal. Or the old panels. The panels now are 35, 40 years old, like in Tanner River, McGregor Isles, Palmetto Point. If you go to the property and you see the seawall leaning out, there's a problem. Static pressure behind it. If you see the seawall cap cracking, that's a problem. If you see the rebar busting through the concrete, that's called spalling. When the rebar rusts, it expands, it pops the concrete. That's a problem. Always have a seawall inspection done.
Yeah.
Because it could be, I think the pricing now is $700 a linear foot to like $1,100 a linear foot.
Wow.
Like for 1 foot, if you have 80 feet, do the math.
Yeah.
Now, since the demand isn't here, back when we had the hurricane several years ago, I think there was, several thousand seawalls that failed. We had all that rain. So all that static pressure, the hydro pressure, I guess you call it, pushing on it. Then the hurricane came, the water went out, the seawalls fell in.
Yeah.
That was horrible. I mean, it damaged thousands of homes throughout Lee County. Yeah. That's a big deal too. And then also your depth. How deep is it at your seawall? Is it super shallow? So if you want to put a boat lift in and the cradle goes and hits the bottom and your boat's still a foot out of the water, that's not going to work. Yep. Now, they make special cradles that are angled with the 45, which you can put in. There's just so many variables. I need to know what kind of boating you want to do.
Yep.
And if it's skinny one day and you want to go out in your little boat, not a problem. There are days with my boat, the tide gets so low, I have to take my boat off the lift, park it on the other side of my dock, knowing that on the super low tides, it's going to hit bottom. My boat's still out of the water.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Yep.
So that's important.
Big thing. And so when you think about seawall and that, the checklist, it sounds like, is to do the analysis, get the inspection for that aspect of it. And then also understand your boating application. Mm-hmm. And if you don't understand your boating application, that's something that...
Ask me.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? If you want to go offshore, you're getting a bigger boat with twins, triples, quads, quints, what is your application?
Yeah.
Most of our people who buy on the water have 2 boats. They have a big one for offshore and family or a smaller bay boat.
Yeah.
I need to know what your application is. I need to know if you're going into Whiskey Creek, you're not going to get a big boat in there. Number one, you have a bridge. Number two, it gets kind of shallow, even though they're dredging it right now to average mean depth of 5 foot, I think it is.
Wow, okay.